welcome back to another episode of 6 and 6, where we flip through 6 stories from around the world in 6 minutes or less. With that said, start your timer. First, we turn to Oceania, where New Zealand has faced a tight energy market as their hydropower sector has seen a decline in productivity. From Reuters, quote, total fossil fuel-fired electricity generation from January through July was 4.36 terawatt hours, according to energy think tank Ember. The total was 1.75 terawatt hours, or about 65% higher than during the same months in 2023, and nearly matched the 1.86 terawatt drop in generation from the country's hydro dams during the same period. In response, end of quote, in response to these rising energy costs, the New Zealand government has repealed its ban on offshore drilling, as well as opening up the domestic liquid natural gas market. With this new move, they hope to re-energize the energy sector and lower energy costs for the average New Zealander over the next year. A recent arrest in France has garnered media attention from around the world. Telegram founder Pavel Dobrev has been arrested when he entered the country, as officials have concerns about the content being shared on his platform. From the BBC, quote, in France, being put under formal investigation does not imply guilt or necessarily result in a trial, but it indicates that the judge is considering that there is enough for a case to proceed in the investigation. Mr. Durov so far has not actually released any comment, though his lawyer, David Oliver Kaminsky, said Telegram complied in every respect with European digital regulations and was moderated to the same standards as other social media networks. Elon Musk has come out in support of Mr. Durov and criticized the French government for their actions, with other platform owners such as Chris Polonsky, the owner of Rumble, speaking out as well. Brazil has continued to crack down on illegal mining operations that have been popping up throughout the country. Multiple photos have been taken across multiple hectares of land in the cleared Amazon rainforest. Greenpeace cited federal prosecutors' estimates, this is from the BBC by the way, that there are 5,000 illegal miners on the site, numbers that have surged since last year, despite enforcement efforts by police and the Government Environmental Protection Agency, INPA. Quote, in July, Sara territory was the target of an operation by the federal police. INPA and the other federal agencies wanted to clear the area and burn the excavating machinery used by the miners. However, as the images show, dozens of excavators remained there, Greenpeace said in a statement, end quote. President Da Silva has come out and promised that his administration will remove the illegal mining operations by the end of his term in 2026. Across the Atlantic and Africa, a criminal network had drawn the attention of international authorities. Their main crimes have to do with financial transactions, which have grown more aggressive with cryptocurrencies and online money transfers. From the BBC, quote, Interpol called the operation a major blow to the Nigerian crime network, but warned that this international reach and technological sophistication means it remains a global threat. In one notorious example, Canadian authorities said that they had busted a money laundering scheme linked with Black Axe, the name of the organization, worth more than $5 billion. The other operation that happened in the past, which drew attention, was Jackal 3, with one of these previous attempts to crack down on the organization resulting in $3 million seized and over 700 bank accounts frozen. Returning to North America, an earthquake has struck the Central Peninsula. Geological surveyors have been monitoring the situation and reporting back on the scale of the earthquake, though there have been no reports of any deaths, though there are missing peoples. From Reuters, quote, the earthquake was centered in the Pacific. It's about 60 kilometers southwest of the Salvadorian town of La Libertad at a depth of roughly 33.9 kilometers. The USGS said. European Mediterranean Seismologist Center has also pegged the magnitude around a 6.1. Reuters witness reported feeling the earthquake in the capital, San Salvador, as well as the neighboring Guatemala. Both Guatemala and El Salvador have both released reports on the effects of the earthquake and are sending response teams in order to help the people who are affected. Another natural disaster has struck across the Pacific in Japan. In the south of the nation, it has been hit by a massive typhoon, which some officials fear will cause landslides and flooding. There are still multiple people missing, including 3 in the city of Gamagora, after a mudslide struck the city. From BBC, the storms and high winds of up to 252 kilometers per hour were reported on the island. As much as 600 millimeters of rain over 24 hours has been forecast in some areas. 3 people remain missing, as we just discussed. Before the typhoon hit, officials actually tried to get nearly 810,000 people to evacuate, and a day after actually asked another 56,000 to leave. We'll keep you updated on that one as it comes forward. So thank you for listening to this episode of 6 and 6. If you want to check it out on the RSS feed, the links are in the description to see it on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Podvine, as well as you can find the normal podcast there in that RSS feed or here on this YouTube channel. And also down there you can find the handle to Twitter, where I release the Twitter tirade every Tuesday and Thursday, same time as this. So with all that said, there's only one more thing to say. Stay safe, don't die.